Otto Zehm's family asked for closure. Spokane police officer Karl Thompson asked for a mistrial.
And it's only day 2. So was he an officer making a split-second decision in protecting citizens, or a man who chose to strike first and ask questions later? That's what a Yakima jury will have to decide in the case of a Spokane police officer.
Federal prosecutors called the confrontation between Karl Thompson and Otto Zehm a brutal attack in opening statements. Defense attorneys told the jury that Thompson is an honorable officer who is innocent of the alleged crimes. KXLY4's Erik Loney in the courtroom again for the start of the trial today. He joins us now live from Yakima. Erik?
Yeah, good evening, Nadine. This trial just ended. You can see Officer Thompson right now leaving with two other fellow, or at least one other fellow Spokane police officer and the police chaplain. Now, Thompson, we learned today during opening statements from Thompson's attorney that Thompson will take the stand and speak on his own behalf, telling the jury exactly what happened that night. Now, prosecutors painted a much different story than what defense attorneys did, using words like brutal surprise attack on a helpless citizen to describe what happened. Federal prosecutors started their opening statements by calling the confrontation between Officer Karl Thompson and Otto Zehm a, quote, a case of police officer who chose to strike first and ask questions later, and that Thompson, quote, used his badge and power as license to brutally beat the victim with a police baton over and over and over again. Federal prosecutor Victor Boutros called Zehm a helpless citizen, the victim of a sudden attack. And he told the jury, while Zehm was still on the floor of the convenience store, Thompson started, quote, constructing a web of lies to deceive those searching for the truth. Thompson faces a maximum of 30 years in prison if convicted of both using excessive force and lying to investigators. Prosecutors allege Thompson told 6 lies after the confrontation, starting with the claim that Zehm lunged at Thompson first. But Thompson's attorney, Karl told the jury in his opening statements the surveillance video doesn't show the entire picture. He said Thompson was not trying to mislead investigators. He said, quote, Thompson was telling it the way he remembered it, and unfortunately now he gets called a liar. Thompson will take the stand and explain what happened. And Oreskovich said, quote, the evidence will show this man, this honorable man, a veteran police officer, is innocent of these crimes. Now, after opening statements and during lunchtime, Karl Oreskovich stood up and asked the judge for a mistrial, claiming that prosecutors had prosecutorial misconduct because they told the jury that Zehm was just there to get a soda. Now, that violated a judge's order that they could not tell the jury that Zehm was innocent. But the judge ruled it was not enough for a mistrial, and the case continued. The case just wrapped up. You saw Karl Thompson leaving the courthouse, and it ended the day with the jury actually hearing from Thompson, a tape-recorded interview with Thompson where he starts to explain what happened and how he said he felt threatened by Otto Zehm. We'll have more about that coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live in Yakima, Erik Loney, KXLY4 HD News.
Thank you, Erik. Well, opening arguments were shown here in Spokane at U.S. District Court via webcam.
And for the first time, we're hearing from Otto Zehm's family. They're amongst those watching the trial today, and KXLY4's Kalae Chock joins us live in the studio tonight with the atmosphere in that room and what the family had to say. Kalae?
My cameras are never allowed in federal court, but we were, along with the Zehm family, who watched the proceedings through closed-circuit television from Yakima. Now, there were 6 TV monitors inside the Spokane courtroom. The man sitting up front, watching closely, was Otto Zehm's first cousin. Dale Zehm says he and his family are happy that the trial is being simulcast to the courthouse. While many watching were either media or employees at the federal building, one of the 6 rows was designated for the Zehm family. Now, there are a number of speakers overhead transmitting the trial in real time as people watch in silence. The Zehm family says it's time for closure.
Well, Otto's been greatly missed, and we'd like to, of course, for the community and our family, resolve this situation, get it resolved and go on with the rest of our lives.
Dale says he wants the police and everyone involved in the trial to tell the truth so that his family can get that closure. Now, the simulcast will show in that courthouse for the rest of the trial. In the newsroom, I'm Kalae Chock, KXLY4 HD News.
Kalae, thanks so much, and you can follow the trial as it happens throughout the day. KXLY4's Erik Loney, who you saw in Yakima, he's been covering this case from the very beginning in 2006 since it broke, and we'll update Twitter as the proceedings continue. Just search at KXLY4 News. You can stay up to date on the trial and view previous stories concerning this case on our website, KXLY.com.